Early in 2011, while seeds of the Arab Spring were germinating, signs of Syrian uprisings, protests against the country's dictator, President Bashar Assad, began to appear on YouTube. Those protests would mushroom into a full-scale 3-year civil war with staggering costs. More than 140,000 dead and at least a third of the country's 23 million people forced to flee their homes. Millions of refugees are now living in camps in Turkey, Lebanon, and Jordan. Syria is rated one of the world's most dangerous places for children, and thousands have been murdered. The war also helped produce chaos in U.S. foreign policy.
To use potential weapons of mass destruction on civilian populations crosses another line, and that is going to be a game changer.
One result, reduced U.S. influence in the Middle East and allied skepticism that America will make good on its commitments. Assad resurfaced in Damascus this week, a sign he's not overly worried by threats from Europe and Washington. In the meantime, radical Islamists in the Syrian opposition, some tied to al-Qaeda, make life dangerous for Christians and other Syrian minorities. They held a group of Orthodox nuns hostage for months, recently letting them go after receiving a ransom. The rebels also have attacked historic Christian towns, targeting churches and monasteries. In the town of Raqqa, they're forcing Christians to convert to Islam, pay a tax, or, quote, face the sword. Many Christians have died, and thousands, such as Nicholas George, have fled.
Because of the fighting, everyone in my area was stuck inside their house. They could not buy anything. It was very dangerous for me even to try to open my shop.
Diplomats meeting in Europe have tried to forge an agreement between the warring factions, but plumes of smoke rising in Syrian cities signal that the end to the crisis is not at hand.
If you were, I think, a Christian father in Syria looking at your children and their future, I think you'd want them to get out, and not just now for safety, but for the future too. I think you'd be saying, go to Europe, go to America.
John Waggy, CBN News.